action begins. Our referee in charge, Peter Hickmott.
Peter Hickmott got the fresh fade for tonight. The beautiful Luciana Andrade getting ready for round one here. A lot of Makachev support in this building. Davy Рамос trying to mute the Abu Dhabi masses here. Makachev is in red. Davy Рамос is in black. Opens with an early kick to the body. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, better sports drink. Grab one today at Speedway.
That left high kick is one of Mahachev's best weapons. He lands it very well, especially on a southpaw. It's going to be there.
Makachev, former combat sambo world and European champion, really has plus skills everywhere, though, if you watch the film. Outstanding jab, good in the clinch, opportunistic submission game, knockout power. But Рамос, as soon as he had accomplished that goal in 2015, there's the first takedown attempt on Рамос. But Рамос in 2015 immediately shifted his focus to the UFC, and he is off to a 4-1 start in the big show. Рамос has worked so hard to try to close that gap between his grappling and his striking. He said he can't be the UFC champion with just jiu-jitsu, but certainly got hands and he has power.
I'd like to see Рамос use similar tactics as Ferreira. I mean, he can throw whatever he wants because a lot of people don't want to take him down. So keep the offense high, keep the pressure high. That'll shut down the kicks of Makhachev, and then look for your takedown or have Makhachev take him down.
Thirteenth pro fight for Рамос. He has never been finished as an MMA pro, and he's trained a lot in Russia, so very comfortable with this Abu Dhabi backdrop tonight. Is that a breeze? I just felt that can't be a breeze.
That was from the left hand that just landed from Makhachev right there. That's what you felt. That was fast and it was hard and it hit right on the button. And the longer Рамос waits on Makhachev, it's going to be a long night for him. He needs to be first and needs to not be waiting to counter.
Crowd chanting for Ислам Makhachev.
That's one thing that Рамос does do is he's got very good counter ability. So when you fire, he'll throw a 3-4 piece combination. But a lot of times he's just waiting. And so is Makhachev. And that's what we're seeing right now. They're waiting on one another, looking to counter each other.
To the body, then retreats.
So far, it's been one strike at a time from these guys, and combinations really step things up and make things a little different.
Side leg kick from Makhachev. Рамос counters.
See, once you touch him, Рамос throws almost every single time. But if you don't go first, he almost waits. You touch him and he'll go right away. Now Makhachev mixing in the fakes, and that'll offset the counters of Рамос. Excuse me.
Рамос keeping that guard high. Crowd sort of waiting with bated breath for that Makhachev land. Coming up on 30 seconds to go here in round one. Рамос unofficially just 2 for 20 on his strike attempts thus far.
together in the first round, the guys haven't thrown 20 strikes yet, really. Or about 50 total, so 25 each, excuse me. But the offense has been very low, and they're really just waiting on one another, looking to counter each other. Counter versus counter.
Yep. Ramos appeared to land a right hand partially a moment ago. 5 minutes down. To continue his ascent by turning back Davy Ramos. Machashev, the slightly busier and more effective striker in round one. Here's round two.
And I love Ramos' corner saying you got to be first. I couldn't agree more. He's got to quit waiting and just go. Let his hands go and be first.
Ramos immediately counters with a flurry after Machashev landed high.
He almost waits on you to go before he goes. It's like give one, take one, give one, take one. And if Ramos just is the first to go, things might change up.
Looked like Ramos was in a pretty good position to get a takedown, but not against someone like Machashev. Machashev absolutely deadly in that clinch setting. About a minute gone by here in round two. Machashev lands to the body. So both fighters have attempted just one takedown through the first nearly 7 minutes. Machashev starting to press forward, working off that jab out of the southpaw stance.
And we said it in the earlier fight where if you get two strikers, in the very first fight of the night, if you get two strikers, a lot of times you see them grapple each other because they don't want to go against each other's strengths. And what we're seeing here is what it looks like two grapplers that don't want to go into each other's strengths, and so they're having a striking match. And it's just the way it goes sometimes. Neither of them wants to give an inch, and so they end up just not doing too much. Nice counter by Machachet. And now Machachet getting off a little bit, being first a little bit more. Oh! Nice jab by Ramos, and he's got power, and that's why he likes to wait. If he connects, he knows he can knock you out. Very patient.
Machashev seemed to recover with immediacy, but a moment there for Ramos. And there's that Ramos jab again, keeping Machashev honest. Beautiful handwork there by Machashev. So when you're preparing for a fellow counter striker, I'd imagine you're expectant that you might get into some of these scenarios where there's a lot of feeling out, a little bit of a swing contest at times.
Yeah, that's right. And what you can do in those situations is feint. You double up on the feints, and then the counter's not there because they can't tell if you're faking or being offensive. And the fakes aren't there for these guys, so that's what's happening.
Machashev landed a big right hand a moment ago while backing up. Ramos a little bit bloodied now. Oh, big knee for Machashev.
Machachet is just getting ahead on the big strikes landed by far. I mean, it looks like it's touched Ramos' nose, looking a little red. No cuts yet. I don't know. I can't see a cut yet, but I think the nose is busted for sure. Ramos just waiting a little too much. He needs to be first, and that would really help him out. Same as Fajeda. Fajeda fought this style as well, and just waited. It would be tough against his opponent, Taisimov. But he went first all the time, and it kept Taisimov on his heels, and that's what Ramos could do to make a little difference. But he's waiting on Machachet, and he's getting off first.
And Islam starting to put it all together now landing nearly 60% of his total strikes, mixing it up well.
And I didn't think Islam would really go for takedowns. I figured he would keep this fight on the feet, and that's what we've seen pretty much so far.
Ramos presses forward. You wonder how he'll manage wrist down the stretch in the third round if we get there. Final 10 of round 2 now. Good round for the Russian.
Perfect, Islam, perfect. Relax, relax. Give him water. Good job, good job. Just don't brawl, keep the same work. Keep the distance, just keep the distance, and in the 2 minutes you're gonna knock him down.
I need you to continue being like the Matador, okay?
Goes to be thrown, and you see Ramos throws it like a check hook, jab type of punch, and it connects. And you see this left hand really hurt Ramos. And another one down the pipe, right to the nose. So probably the strongest, most significant punch was that hook, jab hook looking punch that Ramos threw. It was like a mix of the two. And it kind of rocked Makachev, but the accumulation of left hands is really adding up.
All right, round 3 brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. Davy Ramos was super excited when he heard that Ислам Makhachev had accepted this fight. Now we'll see what the Brazilian Рамос can do over these final 5 minutes.
Oh, he gets him with the knee. And it hurts him.
Huge knee. Рамос trying to recover. Oh, big punches.
Huge punches landing. These guys are going after it right now. Makhachev wants that finish. And Рамос is able to get himself a little bit together, get the overhooks, buy himself some time. That's what that lock on his legs are doing. He's trying to get himself back together.
And now, even though a bit compromised, we are on the ground where Davy Ramos doesn't mind being.
Yeah, and it was a big knee in the clinch that lands when Рамос was moving forward. That hurt him. And keeping Рамos' head up against the fence is a real smart tactic because of the way it's hard to move your hips there. And he can't use armbar techniques or triangle techniques. It really shuts things down to a minimum here, where Makhachev has it.
Makhachev's cardio outstanding. Certainly been very accurate with these ground strikes thus far.
Islam pressuring his hips, keeping very tight. Almost looks like he's got himself back together though.
Fight fans, you at a UFC fight party or planning to attend a fight soon? Well, gear up with all things UFC, available now at UFCstore.com. From customized walkout hoodies to memorabilia, special promotions are happening now. Shop now at UFCstore.com. Makhachev staying active, continuing to work on Davy Ramos here on the ground. 2.5 minutes now to go in this third and final round.
If you're ever going to be on the ground with Ramos, you're going to want to keep his head up against the fence, just like Makhachev's doing. Smart game plan. Keep him parallel with the fence. He can't move his hips. Can't really dig underhooks. And Ramos is good with staying on his back and not getting to his feet right here. So Islam's happy to oblige.
3 times Ramos has been warned for interlocking his toes or fingers in the fence.
Good pressure by Islam, keeping the legs out of the equation. And right here, this is a nice way to go for an armbar here. He tries to get the balance off, but the fence being there just really changes things. Plus, it's so slippery and hot, so they're so sweaty. Very hard to get arm bars, especially in the last minute and a half after the damage that's been inflicted.
But it shows you how confident Makhachev is, more than willing to engage Amos in this realm at this stage of the fight. You certainly know about Makhachev's ground credentials.
I think when he's chose to do it is the key.
Exactly.
It's really smart that he waited till this third round. And right here, almost using his knees to get now he's got his legs in there. Creating some space, getting away from the fence would really help him, I think.
Appreciative crowd for these two warriors as we hit the final minute of the fight. Co-main event to follow. Crowd once again vocal in its support of Isslam Makhachev. And you got to think if he wins tonight, likely to draw somebody else in that lightweight top 15.
But what's so different about this fight scenario than a jiu-jitsu match is the fence. I mean, you can't move your hips. There's no space to create sweep scenarios. There's no he's looking for arm bars from here, but because the fence is behind, he can't really move the way he wants to create the sweep scenarios as well. So it just really limits you when your head's there.
Some conversation is going on there, not sure exactly what. Final seconds of the fight. Isslam Makhachev looking to put the finishing touches on what would be his 7th UFC win in 8 tries. Outstanding effort from the Dagestan native Isslam Makhachev.